All right. Hi, everyone. This is my third attempt at making some soap. So I'm learning a little bit each time I do it. So this time, I'm going to do kind of a basic recipe. My plan is to split it into two different colors, and I'm going to fragrance them differently. Then I'm going to use a silicone bar mold and pour them directly in the molds and try to do maybe a little decorative swirl pattern on them. And to go over the recipe, I have 9 ounces of coconut oil, 3.9 ounces of sweet almond oil, 4 ounces of shea butter, 10 ounces of olive oil, 2 ounces of castor oil, 4.5 ounces of lye, and 9.55 ounces of water. I have 2 tablespoons of titanium dioxide, 2 tablespoons of yellow dioxide. Those are both from Brambleberry. And then over here I have a 1/2 ounce each of, this one is called Mountain Air, and it's a soy-based fragrance oil from the North Star Country Candle Making Supplies.com. I got them online. And this is another 1/2 ounce of grapefruit scented soy-based fragrance oil. Okay, so my temperatures, I just checked them. My oil temperature is right around 96 degrees. My lye and water temperature is 80 degrees. I actually, when I mix this, I submerge it in a larger white bowl that has ice and water in it, so I can mix it, so that helps to keep the temperature and get the temperature down quicker on my lye and water mixture. And then I just barely melt some of the solid oils in the microwave and just let it stand out. I thought about putting this in a little ice water too, but I think it's 16 degrees apart and that should be okay. Okay, so I think I'm ready, and here we go. Alright, so I have my gloves and my goggles on. I'm adding my lye and water to my oils. And we're going to blend. This is a 2-pound recipe, and it's from the Everything Soap Making book by Alicia Grasso. I had to modify it just a little bit because I didn't have enough. I only had 9 ounces of coconut oil, and the recipe originally called for 10. So I had to modify it, and I went to, I have Brambleberry.com's lye calculator on my iPad mini. So I plugged in that recipe to get the lye and water calculation from there, since I had to change the recipe. Okay, that looks pretty good. Not quite trace yet. And I can still see some oil that's sort of separated. Okay, I have a very light trace. Actually, that's a light trace, I think. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Alright, I decided not to separate out my colors beforehand, I'm just going to try separating my batches evenly and then mixing in there. That's my cat, Apollo, who is looking for some attention. Shh, kitty, stop. Okay, so I'm just trying to get these even out here. Looks like I'm going to have about 18 ounces each. Just trying to get them even. I'm going to pour them together, so I guess it doesn't matter all that much how close I am. Okay. And the other thing I'm finding is that, you know, a lot of this is prep work. The actual, like, video that you're watching here doesn't take a lot of time, but like getting your lye water to a temperature and your oils melted properly, that's the thing that takes up the most time. Okay, so I'm going to add my titanium dioxide to this one and my yellow dioxide to this one, and I'm going to wait to add the fragrance because I don't know if it's going to accelerate it or not. Okay, that looks very good actually. Make sure I have a nice emulsification there. That looks like a good color. I've tried only using 1 tablespoon in some other recipes, so I'll be interested to see how this affects the color. Okay, that right now looks kind of like a more brown than yellow. We'll see how that turns out eventually. It's still kind of a cool color. Okay. Alright, so let me add my fragrances. Again, this is called Mountain Air. That's a 1/2 ounce. And this one is Grapefruit. That's also a 1/2 ounce. And let me just mix those in. I'm still kind of, well, I'm kind of almost, I guess I'm at a medium trace now. So it's still pretty easy to work with, but it's definitely getting thicker. Okay, that looks good. And I'll mix the fragrance, the grapefruit, in this yellow. This is also getting thicker, but it's still kind of a medium trace, I think. Maybe even a light trace. It's still real easy to work with. I've been trying to keep track of temperatures a lot more closely, because that seems to affect how easy your batter is to work with. Again, this is kind of only my third time. Alright, that looks good. I hope that turns out with a nice yellow color. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do is try to pour them, pour a little the white and then the yellow and sort of alternate them. I'm not sure that this will fill all of them, so I think I'm just going to try half of them first. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to pour this in the middle. I want to try and get kind of the colors to sort of stay separate, but have a neat pattern. I think I have a pretty good consistency here. It seems to be working pretty well. That smells really good. Alright, back to the white. It's definitely getting a little thicker. I've seen some of you advanced soapers who pour from a really high level, so I'm trying that a little bit to make sure I get the color down in deeper. Okay. Well, that one got a little wonky. It's definitely getting thicker, and so it's starting to kind of mound up now. So I don't know that I'm going to get nice, clear rings. It's not too bad though. I think I need a thinner stream. That's kind of making the... I'm kind of losing my pattern because it's so thick now. Okay. I think I'm going to get one more bar. Maybe actually two. Get a clean spatula here. I really smell the grapefruit fragrance. That's really coming through. This last bar didn't really, it's sort of the white flowed on top of the yellow. So that might be cool though. I mean, we'll see what that looks like. Get a little layered effect going on. And let's see, I have some. And I have some leftover extra of the yellow, so I'm just going to put it in here, I guess. I'm planning to do oven process with this. So I'm going to put it into, after I'm all finished, I'm going to put it into a 170 degree oven and let it sit for an hour. And after that hour's over, I'm going to turn the oven off and let it sit in there overnight to force the gel process. Earlier, my second attempt at soap making, I'm putting in the refrigerator to try and control the gel process. Okay, and then I think I'm going to try and do a little pattern here. Just on the top. And maybe this one I'm going to try to go all the way through. Alright. This is actually kind of thick, I think. I might need like a toothpick. That still looks pretty cool, and they're still pretty, I mean, they're definitely thicker, so they're a little harder to work with in terms of keeping them separate. Let's see, I think I have a bamboo skewer. I'm just going to try something a little thinner. And again, I think I'm just going to do, you know what, I'm going to do just a little. Yeah, that's better. That worked. That's a lot better. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. Looks pretty nice, actually. Yeah, this one kind of got some big rings, so not really getting a whole lot of swirling. Maybe I'll do something a little different with this one. Okay, that looks pretty good. And let's try something similar here, I guess. Alright, I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. And try and get this little yellow blob out of here. Maybe I can just sort of swirl it in there. That's better. Okay. Alright, try to get some of the air bubbles out. I'm just going to spritz it with a little alcohol. Helps to get the bubbles gone. And I hear it also helps to reduce the ash that can sometimes form on the soaps. Alright, there you have it. This is the grapefruit and mountain air scented bars. And I don't know what I'm going to call it. I need a good name. Anyone got some good suggestions? Okay. I'm going to put these in the oven, 170 degrees for an hour, turn off the oven, let them sit there overnight, and then tomorrow I'll come back and unmold them. Okay. Thanks a bunch, everyone, and have a good day. We'll see you a little bit later. Okay. Hey, everyone. This is the follow-up to my third soap making attempt. So this was mountain air and grapefruit that I colored white and yellow with titanium dioxide and yellow dioxide, and was just about to unmold them. It's been about a little over 24 hours, about 28 hours or so, and you can see I've taken one out already, and they came out pretty nice. The white is pretty white. It's still kind of creamy colored, and some of the color did kind of go through. I kind of poured it so you can see it made it through in some ways. The top, I think when I sprayed it with that alcohol, it left sort of this, I don't know, it almost feels like the skin of a grapefruit. That's kind of serendipitous, but it's slightly bumpy, and it has sort of that kind of texture. You can see it. It's not shiny like this side is, nice and smooth. The yellow didn't get yellow. It stayed sort of that browny yellow, but I think it's still pretty. It's a nice color. I like the mix. It smells amazing. I love the smell of how this came out. Initially, the grapefruit was really kind of prominent. But now I smell definitely a mix of the two, and it's a really nice blend. I can't wait for this soap to cure and to actually try it. So anyway, I've taken one out, so I'm just going to unmold some of the others here. This nice silicone mold, which is pretty, I really like. It's really easy to work with. They come out pretty easy. So there's another one. Looks good. That pattern on top came out really pretty. That's one of the better ones. I may cut through one of these in the middle to see sort of how they came out. That's good, very nice. And I'm just sort of pushing these from the bottom, and they come out really very easily. This one, the pattern's not so great, but it still smells pretty good. This one, I just had some of the extra grapefruit left over. It still smells good though. The grapefruit is really nice. And this one came out in a nice layer. That's pretty cool. I kind of like that too. And finally, this last one is, I think, the best looking one. And yeah, that came out really nice, I think. Okay. Well, great. That was my third attempt at making soap, and I think it went really well. I like it, and I oven process these, so they should be fully gelled, and they should be ready to use pretty quickly. I'm still going to let them dry out a week at least to get the moisture out of them before I try to use one, I think. So, okay, great. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. All right, thanks. Bye.